Hi everyone, welcome to this design walkthrough. Today we are going to create a weather app screen from scratch. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced designer, this guide will help you craft a clean, user-friendly interface. So let's get started. First thing first, let's set up our workspace. We are gonna choose a frame for our weather app screen. So we'll hit F on our keyboard and we'll select iPhone 14 and 15 Pro Max from our frame list. Click once, you have your frame here. Next, we will increase the corner radius to 24. That's the first step. So we have our frame ready. Next thing we need is the image background that you see here. It's a doodle artwork of a city landscape. So to do that, we'll go to free pick and we already have the hand-drawn cityscape here. I'll paste the link of this particular illustration in the description below. So you can simply download it and just copy the JPG or the PNG, whatever you have in this file. I think you have JPG in here. So just copy the JPG and paste it in your design file. For this, since we already have it here, I'll simply take the cityscape from this particular screen. I'll copy it and paste it. Like while selecting this frame, I'll paste it here. Let's rename this frame to weather app design. Okay, so we have our frame and let's make it 100 for the pass through. And we have our frame, it's called image, but the opacity will decrease it to 15%. So it will look something like this. Now, since we are making it to be a weather or the weather condition is of summer right now, so we'll add a gradient of warm color here, which is like maybe a light orange to dark orange. So let's do that by hitting R on our keyboard, click and drag. And since you can see this rectangle is currently outside our frame. So what we'll do is we'll simply cut it, select our frame and paste it, Control V. Now we have to add gradient on top of it. So to apply a gradient, we'll choose the fill color here. And you can see this is the solid fill. We'll shift it to gradient. For the top gradient, we have this code FFD786. So we'll enter that here, FFD786. The bottom gradient is FF9436. So we'll apply that, FF9436. The top gradient will decrease the opacity to 0. And for this, we will make it 20. 20 seems too light. Let's make it 30. Or let's keep it between 20 and 30. Let's make it 25. This works. Now we'll add an effect to our this particular rectangle. So if you add, the default effect is drop shadow, but we'll change it to background blur. And in blur setting, we'll change the blur value to 2. So you can see there's a soft blur to it. Our city landscape has been blurred out. Now we need some text like the location, the temperature, and all those things. But before we go ahead and do that, we will lock our rectangle and the illustration layer because we don't need to make any more changes to that. So we'll lock both of them. Let's rename it, make it gradient, and this will rename it to illustration. Okay, so we have locked this and we can't select it anymore, and hence we can't make any more changes to it. Now we'll start making these text elements. So we'll hit T on our keyboard, click once, and since I'm staying in New Delhi, I'll type New Delhi here, and I'll duplicate it. I'll type India because New Delhi is a state in India. Sorry, city. Delhi is the state. For this, I'll make it font size 16. For this, I'll make it font size 14. I'll select them both by holding shift on my keyboard. And for font, let's go with Urbanist. I recently discovered this font on Google Fonts. It's a free font, so you can use it anywhere, like outside Figma as well. If you want to download it, you can download it from Google Font and use it in your own design files. We'll increase the font weight here. We'll make it semi-bold. Oh, yep. India seems good. We'll let it be regular. So for New Delhi, I'll apply this color 1E, 1E, 1E. And for India, I'll change it to 363636. Should I make it lighter? Yeah. This one also works. 494949. Now we'll select both our text prop elements and we'll apply auto layout to it by pressing Shift A on our keyboard. So you can see auto layout has been added, and we'll simply place it. Okay, so I see what is happening here. So we have to make a small change to our gradient box. It is oversized, like it's going outside the frame. So we'll make sure it is exactly of frame size in width, and now we'll lock it again. So you can see now it is showing 36 pixels. Like if you hold Alt on your keyboard, if you select an element, press Alt on your keyboard and just hover around it, then you can see the spacing around the element. So it is 36 pixels away from the side margin or the boundary. So we'll make it 24 pixels away. We'll press shift and left arrow together, so it will move 10 pixels towards left, and now left arrow twice, it is 24 pixels away. From top we'll make it 56 pixels, so just move it down a little bit, pressing the down arrow thrice. It was 53, now it is 56. So this is done. Next we'll duplicate it by holding Alt on our keyboard and pressing shift, click and drag. We'll bring it somewhere here. Yeah, so this is good. Now what we have to do is add the date, time, and the temperature, and if there is any um, let's say what is a weather property, like right now I have written strong ongoing heat wave because when I made the screen it was strong ongoing heat wave were there in Delhi. So I'll simply double click on this. If you want to select a particular element from a frame or a group, simply hold Control and click on it, and you will select that particular element instead of clicking multiple times and then going inside a layer and layer and layer, like inside a group after group after group. So I'll hold Control, click once, I have this selected, double click on it to edit the text. I'll make the text the same thing here, 11 a.m. Thursday. Then I have a vertical spacing here. I don't know what this character called. So the button right above your enter button, it's a backward slash. So if you press shift backward slash, you get this symbol. Then we'll write the date today, 24th August 2024. So right now I have this auto height property applied to my text box. I'll select the entire text and make it auto width. So that is done. We'll select our India text and edit it to make it, let's say, right now the current temperature at this moment of time would be 24 or 26. So I'm making it 24. Oh, we don't have a degree symbol on our keyboard. So we'll simply copy it from Google. Degree symbol. There we have our oops, degree symbol. Control C or Command C if you have a Mac, and Control V. There we have it done. We'll select it, make it a little bit large. Let's make it 36. Again, will I apply auto width to it? We'll increase the font weight, make it bold. Let's make it extra bold this time. Seems a little small. Let's make it bigger. 48 works. Yep. Okay. So right now our auto layout has the fixed width property applied to it. We'll make it hug contents. So now it will automatically hug the contents inside the auto layout box. We'll shift it a little bit up. Uh, we have to add one more text field, sorry, text element. So we'll simply hit Control D and it will add another text element below it. Double click on it to edit it and we'll write what should we say? Right now it's a little bit rainy here, so let's make it thunderstorm. At with strong winds, we'll say that. Let's make it a little bit. Let's make the text a little bit smaller. Strong winds. Yep, this works. Make this 14 as well. So let's make this light. Light seems too much. Let's make it regular. We'll make this medium. So right now the spacing between the elements is 2. I think this works. So let's keep it that way. Now we need to add the air quality index here. So we will draw a rectangle, air quality index, and if there are any alerts announced. So let's draw a rectangle first by hitting R on our keyboard, click and dragging it. Then once the rectangle is drawn, we'll hit T on our keyboard. For text, click once and type yellow alert announced. Is the spelling of announced correct? No, it has double N in it. So we'll select this, the text field, press shift and select the background behind it, and we'll add auto layout by either pressing Shift A on our keyboard or hitting the plus icon here. Okay, we don't want this. What just happened? So we'll press Ctrl Z. Let's make the box a little bigger by holding Alt on our keyboard and dragging it, clicking and dragging it. So now select the text, the background behind it, and press Shift A. So now you can see uh, it is correctly in the center after auto layout being applied. We want the corner radius to be little round, so we'll make the corner radius 4. So I have applied the font here is outfit. I think we should use outfit here only because it is creating a little bit issue with our design or the current layout that we are going to make. So quickly change all of this to outfit. Outfit looks good, but urbanist look good as well. So no debate there. This looks too big now, too bold. So we'll just make it bold instead of extra bold. We'll make this 12. Instead of regular, we'll make it light. So yeah, now we have ample amount of spacing between this and this. So let's click on this, press Alt and hover, so you can see it has 32 spacing here. So for spacing, we are using the 8 pixel grid. Like uh, the spacing between any two elements here would be uh, in the table of 8, like 8, 16, 24, 32, like that. And we missed this one. We'll make it outfit. Let's choose this color, C37400, and we will make the label white for this, the background white. So you can see this is done. We'll quickly duplicate it. We'll make it, edit this text and write AQI, which is the air quality index. For this particular text box, we will make the auto layout alignment to align top left. Let's change the padding a little bit. Let's make it 8. Let's make it 6. This looks better. Instead of fixed, let's make it hug contents. So this is good. Fixed, change it to hug contents. Oh no, for this it will be fixed. So here the padding is 8 and the horizontal padding is 8, vertical padding is 6. Now we'll add another element over here. So we'll simply hit Control D. So right now it just placed another element, another text element after duplicating it horizontally, but we want it to be vertical. So instead of this option, we'll choose this option, which is vertical layout, the arrow down. And here it says fixed height, but vertical resizing is fixed, but we'll change it to hug contents. So now it is hugging both the box. Okay. Uh, Next thing we need is this one, satisfactory. So we'll simply duplicate it, duplicate this one, change it to satisfactory. We want to change the background color. Instead of white, we want it to be a little yellow. Oh, sorry. So the fill is okay. Oh, the opacity was 0. Let's make it 15. So the color is FFD786, the top gradient that we went with for this particular rectangle. So we'll cut this frame. Oops, wrong option. Yeah, select this frame, press Ctrl X, select this frame and press Ctrl V. So right now you can see that it is because vertical layout is applied, so it has added this satisfactory box below it, but we want satisfactory and this AQI side by side. So what we'll do is we'll add auto layout to it by pressing Shift A, and instead of vertical layout we'll select horizontal layout, and we'll select alignment, align left, but it's in the center. So for AQI we'll edit it to 85, and this we will still, we can play with the color a little bit. So satisfactory is a little orange in color. Yeah. Let's make it a little darker. This works. We'll apply the same orange color here as well. This was the color code for the orange text. We'll copy it, apply the same here. What we'll do is we'll reduce the opacity to 15%. Let's make it 12 so you can see the text better. For auto layout, the spacing between 85 and this satisfactory text box is 10. Let's make it 12. How about 8? 8 looks good. We'll increase the size here. Okay, yeah, this works. Let's see what is the spacing. 8 and 11, which is uneven. We don't want that. 8 and 8 on both sides. So you can see 8 and 8 spacing on both sides. AQI will make it regular. Let's change the text to black. Even for 85, we'll make it semi-bold. Make it black as well. Let's make this light. The vertical spacing is 6. We don't want that. We want it 8. Okay, looks a little better now. But this one has more spacing, right? This one has better spacing. Oh, it has 12. 12 and 8. Let's do that. Let's make it 12. Let's make it hub contents. I think this box is getting bigger because of this text. And we also want 24 spacing on this side. So this is going to be a little bit challenging. Let's rename it to strong ongoing heat wave. This is done. About 8. Let's apply it to this as well. See how this is looking. Okay, yeah, little bit balanced. All right, so most of the elements are ready now, and we simply have to add icons. So let's get our first icon, which is this particular one, and we'll be taking this from flat icon. We already have this weather icon pack from flat icon, and the creator of this icon pack is Creative Store Premium. Anyways, so we'll select this icon, and we have copy PNG. Click once, select the frame, press Ctrl V. We'll resize it to 64. Let's see what is the size. Too small. We want it to be a little bit bigger. Let's double it. 128. See how does that look? A little bit bigger. Let's make it 164. Yeah, this is enough. How about let's make it a little more bigger? 200. No, this is too much. 180 should do. Yep. So we'll use our alignment tool to make sure it is in the center. These are the alignment tools. This is align horizontal centers. So we'll click that. Okay, now it is in the center. Next we will make these boxes. So most of these are designed by using auto layout. So we'll use auto layout while designing these boxes. We'll hit R on our keyboard, click and drag once. The width and height of this box is 382 and 125, but we'll make it, sorry, 382, 125. Okay, yeah. So this is 382. Height needs to be changed. Let's make it 126. We'll make the fill to pure white, and since we want a little bit the difference between foreground and background, so we'll add effect of drop shadow and make it 22, blur, and Y to be 12, and corner radius to be 8. How much drop shadow do we have here? 28, 12, and the opacity of the shadow is 8. So we'll do the same thing. 22, Y is 8, opacity is 12. This gives us a good soft shadow, and we'll hit T on our keyboard, click once, type H, which is H stands for highest weather. So highest weather can go up to, in Delhi it can go up to 48 or 49 or even 50 degrees Celsius. So here we will simply copy this degree symbol, paste it here, 48.9 degree Celsius. Let's make this medium, and let's make this let's make this light. For our highest temperature, we'll make it little bit warm. So we'll use our warm color, which is this orange color. Oh, this orange color, which is EB6 900. We will duplicate it by holding Alt, click and drag, rename it to, like, edit it to L. The lowest the temperature can go is, yeah, 24 degrees Celsius. 24 degrees Celsius is the lowest. And we'll use blue color here. The color code is 0059EA. And let's add auto layout. So we'll select this, press shift, select this, and press shift A on our keyboard. That will add the auto layout. Double click to select this particular text element, then hitting Control D will add another layer below it, another text layer below it. We will edit the this L here and make it into UV. UV is 3, which is a little bit high. We'll make sure that it is in the center, horizontally center. So we'll select this and use our alignment tools to make sure it is in the center. We'll make 3 to be in black color. Yeah. Next we have to create these elements, which is for wind speed, pressure and humidity. So for this we need our circle to be 47 pixels into 47 pixels, which is not even. That's a bad practice. So we'll use, first to draw a circle, we'll hit O on our keyboard, click once, and we will resize it to 48. To make sure your circle increases or decreases in size um, proportionately, just click on this link. If you click to unlink it, what will happen is, if I change the height, let's say 50, or to make it evident, let's make it 64, it will only change the height of the circle and not the width of the circle, which we don't want. We want it to be an even circle. So width and height should be same. And let's link it so that if we change it, it changes together. Okay, so we have our circle, and the text is D9, D9, D9. I mean, the color is D9, D9, D9. But we want it to be a little bit lighter, which is F6, F6, F6. Was it F6? Yes, it is F6. It looks a little bit lighter here, doesn't it? Okay. So now we need the wind icon. So we'll go back to our icon pack, and I have chosen this icon, which is basically clouds, but it looks like wind. So let's take that, or like clouds being blown away by the wind. So we'll copy PNG and paste it here. We'll resize it to 36, Control X, paste it here. To make sure it is in the center of the circle, select the icon or the image that you just copied, hold shift, press the circle behind it, and use your alignment tools, which is this one align horizontal centers, and this one which is align vertical centers. You can also use the shortcut Alt V and Alt H. So this is done. Let's add auto layout to it. Now let's add a text. So we have to write wind speed and what is the value of the wind speed. So let's type wind speed, duplicate it, let's make it 12 kilometer per hour. We don't want it to be the font weight to be thick, so we'll make it light. What is the text size that we are using here? So we are using 12 text size here. Same for this. So this is okay, this is okay. But we'll make the font color a little bit lighter here because we don't want to use pure black in our design. Are we using? Yes, we are using here, which is a bad example. Shouldn't be using pure black text. Even for this we'll change. If you use pure black color on white background, it sometimes it hurts your eyes, it puts strain on your eyes because the contrast is just too much. The contrast level is too high when you're using pure black on pure white. So don't use pure black color in your design or on white background. Use slightly darker gray instead of pure black. So we have this and we'll change it to very light. What was the color code here? It is 70 70 70. So we'll use the same color code 70 70 70 and select all of them. So both the text field and this image, and we'll add auto layout to it. Instead of spacing being 9, we'll make the spacing 8. What is the spacing here? Here it is 7. Let's try 6. How does it look? So here I have selected the high, low and UV layer, this wind speed layer and the box, and make sure that all of them are in the center. So now it is in the center of this particular box, only this box, both these elements. Now we'll duplicate it and let's add auto layout this as well. Shift A. Now we select only this particular uh, group and press Ctrl D. So now we have three similar looking groups. Now we only have to make changes to it. So here we'll edit the wind speed and write pressure. Pressure is 996 HPA. So I know PA is Pascal. I don't know what is H. If anybody knows it, please put it in the comments. 996 HPA. Next we have this. We'll double click on it and write humidity. Humidity is 68%. Too high. Makes you uncomfortable. Okay, now we have to change the icons here. Remember the icon size is 36. So we'll come here, we'll try to see pressure. There's no pressure here. So we'll click on Creative Solve Premium and in all styles we will search for pressure. So we have this meter gauge here, a gauge. So copy. Okay, press Ctrl or Command and click on this image and select, right click, paste to replace. So it has pasted it in its original size in which it was copied, which was 512 pixels. Remember, we want it to be 36, and make sure that this is linked, constraint proportions. We have entered 36, hit enter, and it will automatically bring it in the center of the circle. So the pressure is done. Next we have humidity, so it's more like raindrops. We'll go back to our weather pack. Here we have drops, the name of the icon. We'll copy it. You can see you'll get the message copied to the clipboard successfully, and select paste to replace by right clicking on it. Again, it has been pasted in the original size, which is 512. We'll simply resize it to 36. So this is done. You can see we are halfway there. Now we have to make the hour-wise weather chart. So what we'll do is we'll duplicate this by pressing Alt and Shift, click and drag. Okay, so I'll duplicate this again. You will select the rectangle, press Alt, then Shift and drag it down. If you press Shift, what happens is it moves uh, parallelly to it. So either if you're moving it horizontally or vertically, it will move parallelly. It won't move anywhere else. Like exactly in the 90 degrees. 90 degrees down, 90-degree up, 90-degree left or 90-degree right. 90 degree? No. Okay. I was bad with maths, so let's not mind that. Okay, so we have this selected. Now we want to copy this particular auto layout group. Control C, select this box and Control V. It has pasted it there, but we'll bring it here. So in here, the spacing between between each of these different groups was 25. We'll make it 24 because we are following the 8 pixel grid, and 8 3s are 24. For this, since we are making weather based progression, let's start with, here we have started with 8 o'clock. So let's start editing, and we'll be using 24-hour clock system. So at 8 a.m. it was 26 degrees. Degree symbol is not on our keyboard, so we'll again copy it. (26°C). Let's make it regular, or let's make it medium here. We'll change the icon here as well. So we already have the icon that we need. Copy it, press Ctrl and hover over this particular icon and click once, then right click on it and select paste to replace. The size is 180, we don't want that, we want 36. As soon as we enter 36, it will automatically get placed in the center. So we have this. Okay, we don't want this and this, so we'll delete it. We just want this, and we'll, so what happened was previously this was a bigger frame, so you can see this is the outer frame, and there are multiple frames in it. So this one was, let's make it 8 a.m. This one is 8 a.m. We have to delete these two frames, so we'll select this, press shift, select this, and hit delete. Now, right now we are in the outer frame, but we want this to duplicate 8 a.m. frame. So we'll select 8 a.m. frame and hit Control D. And since we want 6 copies of it, we'll hit it 5 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spacing is 25. We don't want it to be 25. Okay, we have one extra copy. Let's delete this one. Let's increase the spacing. The spacing is increasing because of the text box, so let's make some changes to the text box first. Let's make it, instead of fill, let's make it hug contents. This also, let's make it hug contents. This also should be hug contents. Yeah, this is, so our 8M frame is currently, it has horizontal resizing to fix. Let's make it hug contents. So now the boundary of our 8am group is like sticking to its contents. That is exactly what we wanted, and now we'll start duplicating it. So we'll press Ctrl D 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 6 copies of it, and now we'll decrease the spacing between them. 12 looks good. Let's make sure it is in the center of this particular box. So we'll select this and this, and we'll use our alignment tools. Okay. This is looking good. Now we'll simply make changes to the time hour-wise. So this will be 9, this will be 10, this will be 11, this will be 12, and this will be 13. As the hour progresses, our weather will change. I mean, the temperature will change. So at 9, it will be 28. At 10, it is increasing exponentially. Sorry for that. So at 10, it will become 32. At 11, let's say make it 38. At 12, we'll make it 40. At 1 o'clock, it will be peak. So let's make it 46. Okay, so you can see as the time progresses, the weather, I mean the temperature progresses. That is done. Let's make sure we have auto layout added to this as well. Yep. The spacing between this and this is, from here it is 18. So let's make it somewhere, make sure it is 24 pixels away from here. Yep, so 24 pixels away from this border. We want 24 pixels away from this border as well. So yeah, this is good. Now we want the weather forecast for the next 7 days. So we'll make that chart as well. We'll duplicate this, and okay, so we'll again make use of the auto layout that we had here. We'll delete these boxes, and we'll make sure that for this we have hug contents. Okay, so right now we'll select our 8 a.m. frame. Instead of vertical layout, we'll add horizontal layout, and we'll make sure everything is in center, align center, and we want our icon or this particular frame to be on the third place. Okay, before we do that, let's add another text box here. So we'll select 26 degrees Celsius, this particular text box, and press Ctrl D. So now we have three text fields or text uh, elements and one image element. We'll select the image element and bring it on the third place by pressing our right arrow. So 1, 2, it's in the third place now. And what we'll do is we'll select our outer frame now and increase the spacing. Okay, we don't want to increase the spacing there. We want to increase the spacing in this particular frame, which is the 8 a.m. frame. As I increase it, you can see that it's growing. This distance or the spacing between the elements is growing. And again, we want 24 pixels spacing from both sides. In this, it was 17. We want it to be 16. Here it is 13. Let's make it 16 again. So here the text box is fixed size. We don't want fixed, we want it to hug contents. So it will look like this. Spacing between this is 16 pixels. Yes. Good. Let's select align top center. So now it has equal spacing from both sides. It has 22. We want it to be 24. So again, we'll select our 8 m box, decrease the spacing to 64. Now it is 25. Let's try 65. It's 23.5 on both sides. I think this will work for us. Again, we'll select the outer frame and no, we'll select the inner frame, which is the 8 m one, and we'll duplicate it. One, okay, outer frame for this one, and instead of horizontal layout, we'll again select vertical layout, duplicate it by pressing Ctrl D. We'll make it hug contents so that you'll be able to see the magic. And we'll select our frame here, weather app design. We'll uncheck clip content, and as we press Ctrl D, you will be able to see that the box expands with it. Okay, this much is alright, this works. So we'll start making changes. Instead of time, we'll add dates because this is a 7-day chart of the weather. So here we'll write for tomorrow, which is 25th, 25. Okay, before we do that, you can see the text boxes are moving as we make changes to this. So for this, we'll select the 8 a.m. text box. Let's select all of them. And here, instead of 65, we'll select auto. Let's delete these. And now we'll duplicate it again. So we have the auto frame selected, and we'll hit Control D. So since our spacing here between the elements is auto, if we make any changes to this, the rest of the elements won't move from their places. So I'll change this to 25. Oh, it's still moving. We don't want that. So for each of these text box, we'll have to apply fixed width to it. So now it won't move. Make it left aligned. We'll rewrite this to whatever day it is. So it will become tomorrow. Let's make it auto width. Okay, this one is moving very good. We will rename it to, and will edit it to the maximum and the minimum temperature on that day. So for minimum temperature, let's make it 24, and forward slash, and we'll make it to 48 degree symbol we need to copy. Will I let's apply auto width to it. Okay, so again, I'll have to delete this because now I have made changes to uh, this file, I mean this particular group, and I want similar properties applied to these groups. So instead of doing, like, changing the properties again and again, since we have already applied the properties that we want to only this particular group, we'll duplicate that only, we'll delete the rest. So we'll select the outer frame and hit Control D 4 times. We'll start editing the text. We'll make this 26, this one to be 27, this one to be 28. This is tomorrow, this will be Saturday. Okay, wait a minute. We want the text to be, instead of hug, we want it to be fixed. So we want it to be Saturday. Even for this, instead of hug, let's make it fixed width. Edit it and make it Sunday. Again, instead of hug, make it fixed width. Let's make it Monday. We'll apply fixed width to all of them. 24 degrees Celsius would be the lowest temperature. Let's make changes to the maximum temperature. So instead of 48, let's make it 47. Here, make a change to lowest. Let's make it 26. And maximum, it should go to, again, 47. This will work. So our weather app design is almost ready. I think we need to, if there are any settings to make or settings to do in the weather app, we need a setting icon. Let's say if you want it to be in degree Fahrenheit, then the temperature to be in degree Fahrenheit, then you need to make those settings. So we'll quickly add a setting icon here. To do that, we'll go to flat icons, interface icons, and search for settings. So we'll use this particular setting sliders. We'll copy the PNG and we'll paste it in our frame. Make the icon size 24. Paste it here. We'll make sure the spacing is 56 and 24. 56 from the top, 24 from the side. And with this, you have your weather app ready. I hope you'll be able to follow through with this design tutorial. And if you have any doubts, please make sure to drop it in the comments. I'll drop all the links to the important file used in this particular design walkthrough in the description. And all the best. See you in the next one. Bye.